Nik Matheou, a member of steering committee Boycott Turkey campaign. Thanks for joining us today.
Thanks for having me again, Erem.
Thank you. How do you view the conditions of Öcalan is held? What is Turkish state aiming by isolating Mr. Öcalan?
So, I consider the conditions that Mr. Öcalan is held in to be torture. There's no other way of putting it. And in some ways, it's not even important what I myself think. This is the opinion of the European courts, the Committee for the Prevention of Torture, that this kind of aggravated isolation, as it's called, constitutes nothing less. So, yes, it's torture, and we need to recognize it as such. It is an attempt to silence him. That's what they're aiming at by isolating Abdullah Öcalan. He represents the potential for a solution with his ideas, with his proposals for peace, and the Turkish state is seeking to isolate these ideas.
So, secondly, during the peace negotiations, as you remember as well, between the Kurdish movement and Turkish state, talks were held together with Abdullah Öcalan on İmralı Island. What do you think is the importance of Öcalan for peace resolution of the Kurdish question?
Well, his importance can't be overestimated. Abdullah Öcalan is the potential for a peaceful resolution of the Kurdish question. And there are so many things that we could point to here. On the one hand, there's the fact that millions of Kurds in Turkey and worldwide recognize Abdullah Öcalan as their leader, first and foremost, which makes him a leader capable of bringing them along with him through what will undoubtedly be a very difficult set of peace negotiations and reforms and restructurings that will have to follow. So that's the first reason. And just to make a comparison there, the importance of Mr. Öcalan in those terms is the same as Nelson Mandela in South Africa, or as the leaders of the Irish Republican movement, Gerry Adams and Martin McGuinness in Northern Ireland. Without those leaders being able to bring their populations with them, those transitions would never have been able to take place. But more broadly, I think what Abdullah Öcalan represents in his potential is a creative and truly democratic solution. So it's not just his position in the way that he's recognized by Kurds as their leader, but also his ability to come up with meaningful solutions that not only resolve the Kurdish question in Turkey, but move beyond that and help to resolve the Republic of Turkey's wider problems.
You have talked about the position of Öcalan as well, but what do you think Abdullah Öcalan's ideas and his commitment to the peace in the region? Very short, very briefly.
Well, his ideas are revolutionary in the truest sense of the word, that they will change the lived conditions, the access to life, not only of Kurds, not only of Turks, not only of Turkey's other minorities, but potentially the entire Middle East, from Libya and North Africa through Cyprus to Syria in the non-Kurdish regions to Iraq, Iran. His ideas, and in particular, for example, on Israel and Palestine, his ideas are the solution to the war in the Middle East of the 21st century. And his commitment to peace is just unquestioned. It's unquestionable. He has declared several unilateral ceasefires since 1993 and has led the way in attempting to find a peaceful solution and showing good faith. His commitment can't be questioned.
Lastly, since the Öcalan imprisonment, there has been a global campaign for freedom for Öcalan that you support the campaign as well. What do you think about this campaign and its importance of achieving peace in the region?
So I think, like the other examples that I mentioned earlier, particularly the campaign to free Nelson Mandela, these campaigns for particular figures are incredibly important because they give us an opportunity in his person to both show the cruelty and the nature of the Turkish state and what it's attempting to do, but also to showcase Mr. Öcalan's own ideas. The campaign is obviously for his freedom first and foremost, but his freedom should be achieved for the ideas that he is able to put forwards. And these are relevant to the whole of the region. The Turkish state is the engine of war now in the broader Middle East. In Greece, in Cyprus, in Syria, in Iraq, we see with the invasion now, both within Turkey's borders and without Turkey's borders, also in the Caucasus, in Armenia, Karabakh, and Azerbaijan. And this will only get worse as Turkey is increasingly isolated from NATO, and as the Turkish state and Erdogan's regime lashes out. And we've seen this over the last 2 years. So Mr. Öcalan's freedom means peace and democracy, not only for Turkey and for Kurds, but for the whole of the region.
Nik Matheou, member of steering committee, Boycott Turkey campaign. Thanks for joining us. Thank you for your valuable comments today.
Thank you so much. It's always a pleasure.
Thank you.